Hi, my friends. Hope you're doing wonderful today. Been thinking about you. I wanted to come on so we could continue our class Read Aloud The War with Grandpa. And our last reading, it got to a pretty crazy part when Peter had his friends over and they're getting ready to go play Monopoly. They take out the Monopoly game from his closet only to find the game board there, but nothing else. The money gone, the pieces gone, but there was a note inside, and the note was actually from the grandpa, and his note said, "Two can play this game, but you can't play this game now," signed the old man. And so his friends were thinking, "You have to be kidding me." And so now that brings us to chapter 25, which is titled, "And Dirty Words." So here we go. I will not put down here the actual words that Billy and Steve said. I know I set out to tell this story just like it had happened, but I don't want to put those words down on paper, especially in a story that my teacher will be reading. So I'm going to make up some words to use instead of the real ones. I can't believe this, Billy said. What a gizbit McPlank can this thing be? Exactly, Steve said. This is rovish. Only a Macnish pop would pull a furzy trick like this, Billy said. Wait a minute, I said. Don't be saying those things about my grandpa. I'll say what I like to say, Billy said. He was getting really mad. He is a Macnish top. How can you deny it? He's not a Macnish top, I said in a loud voice. My grandpa is a really great guy. And he pulls furzy tricks, Steve said. Now, Steve did have me there. It was a pretty furzy trick after all, maybe, I said. But I sure have given him a couple reasons to do all this. I'm the one that started this war. Don't you guys forget that. Well, the guys went on and on for a while, saying more rovish things about Grandpa. And I did defend him. It took some time for all of us to simmer on down. Then Steve got that funny look on his face and shut up while Billy ran down at all of the mouth things that he said. It'll be terrific, Steve said then. What's so terrific about it? Billy asked. He has risen to the bait. Don't you see it? Said Steve. I mean, he's in the game now. He wants to play, and that's good. We can't play Monopoly now, and you think that's good? Said Billy. You've got your grandpa involved now, Steve said, ignoring what Billy was saying. He's feeling the pressure, and now you got to keep it up. How? I said. Attack, 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 Steve said. Yeah, Billy said. Hit him again. I'm not so sure, I said. I really wasn't either. Burn his underwear, Billy said. What? I didn't think that I heard Billy right. Sneak in, grab all his underwear, and burn it. A man can't go anywhere without his underwear. And how do you burn underwear? I asked sarcastically. Throw it in the furnace, Billy said. Don't be stupid, I said. I wouldn't go anywhere near our furnace for anything, much less to then go throw underwear in it. Rip it up then, Billy said. Just throw it in the trash, but do it. Not on your life, I said. You're not a secret warrior, Billy said. You're just a chicken. I'm a grandson, I said. There are some things that I'm not going to do no matter how much my friends egg me on. Chicken, Billy said again. It's not your war, I said. Grisbus Manplank, Billy then called me, which he knows I don't like that. I didn't say anything back. Well, you've got to do what you got to do, Steve said. I will, I said. What? Steve asked. I don't know. When? Sometime, someplace, I said. Steve and Billy both laughed at me then, and in a little bit they both left, and both of them were mad at me, and I was mad at them, and I was even more annoyed with them. So, Grandpa's first attack really worked well after all. It took 3 good friends, and maybe them, we all kind of got mad at each other. Chapter 26, Rocker and roll. You can bet your life I went looking for Grandpa right after those boys left. But he was too clever for me. He was hanging around the kitchen where my mom was preparing dinner. Then he played a few hands of casino with Jenny, and by that time Dad was now home from the office. I didn't get to speak to him alone and in private until after school the next day, and he was up in my room when I got home. He had his big toolbox up there, and he was sitting on my bed carving a little piece of wood with his knife. "Hello, Pete," he said in a friendly way, "and how was school today?" I put my backpack down. "A lot you care," I said. "Oh, I care, Grandpa said." "How did you know that we were going to be playing Monopoly?" I asked him. "Aha!" he grinned. "A military secret." "I suppose you think that was funny?" Grandpa chuckled. "Well, wasn't it? Here, you guys are getting together to play a game and surprise!" Grandpa took a little piece of wood and knelt down next to me in my rocking chair. Then he tried to fit it in the little hole in the back of the chair where that arm kept coming loose. "Just a touch too big," he said. "You're fixing my rocking chair?" I asked. "Well, I'm trying to," Grandpa said. He had a piece of sandpaper and was rubbing that little piece of wood like crazy. "Are you going to glue it in again?" I asked. "Nope," said Grandpa. "Glue won't do it. I'm having to repeg it, Pete. You see the hole in the back of the arm? Well, I took the old peg out. It used to fit in the other hole here in the back of the rocker." Grandpa tried to put in a little piece of wood into its place, but it didn't fit. "Just a little more sanding now," he said. "What about all the stuff from my Monopoly game? Can I have it back now?" "Oh, not until," he said. "Until what?" "Until our little disagreement, or whatever you want to call this, is over." I looked at Grandpa, but he was busy sanding. "I don't think that's very fair," I said. "It's not?" he said. "Well, let's just say your Monopoly pieces are maybe prisoners of war. As soon as you make peace, back they come." "Well, I'll never do that. Not until you give me back my room." "Oh, well, then I guess they're going to stay prisoners for a very long time," Grandpa said. And he took a pair of pliers and gripped them around the little middle piece of the wooden peg. Then he stuck it into the armhole and kind of twisted it and pushed it all at the same time. It took a lot of effort, but Grandpa had big hands and big muscles, and it finally went into the hole about halfway. "Got it," Grandpa said. "Solid as the rock of Gibraltar." "I gave you back your slippers," I said. "It seems to me that I had come up here to find those slippers myself," he said. "I didn't see you actually hand them over to me, Pete." I thought about that while Grandpa put the pliers away and got out a hammer from his toolbox. The hammer had a rubber tip on the hitting part. I'm going to have to get you back for this one," I told him. "The secret warrior, my friend, he will be striking back again." "Oh, I do know that," Grandpa said, grinning, "and that's the fun of it." I couldn't believe what he just said. He thinks this is fun. "You think this is fun?" I asked him. "Oh, it sure is," he answered. "Oh, it took me a while to see it, and then I realized something. I had darn near lost my whole sense of humor. Hadn't had a good time like this in ages and in ages. Well, not the last year anyway. Imagine me slapping you like that. What a fool thing for me to do." He lined up the hole in the back of the rocker with the peg that was sticking out of the arm. "Now watch this, Petey, old boy." Tap, tap, tap. That's all it took. 3 good taps with Grandpa's hammer, and the arm of my rocker was attached to the back. I sat right down in the rocker and tried it out. It was solid. Well, just like Grandpa said it would be. "You're a good fixer," I said. "Thanks." And he kissed my forehead. "I am the best," Grandpa said. "You know, Pete, I used to build whole houses, from the bottom all the way to the top. Still would if it weren't for this bum leg I got. But, I started feeling good again. I got my old pizzazz back, I think. And there's lots of things in this house that need a good fixing. And I'm just the man to do that, kiddo. He gave me a big hug and it did feel good. But when he let me go, I looked at him and I said, I'm going to get you back for that Monopoly trick, Sure you will, he said, and then he laughed. I can hardly wait. And that's where it brings us to chapter 27, that's titled Go Fish. And I'm just wondering what Peter's going to do to get him back with this next attack. I'm so glad that the grandpa has some pizzazz back in his life. So I hope you're having a wonderful day, and I hope you're making some really good choices and having fun outside. And I will come on again tomorrow and share the next couple chapters. All right, I'll talk to you later, third graders.